Hey, so I'm going to try and answer most common questions about headstand. If you have any special questions, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, let's just get going. Okay, let's just get right into the questions. First one, do you have to warm up your neck and shoulders? You can do that. Traditionally, it's not necessary, but definitely I do know some people who have some trouble with their neck, a lot of weakness, a lot of tightness going on. So if you need to warm up your neck, you can just do the video that I'm going to link right here. Second of all, positioning. So where do you stand on your head? You take your hands like this. Your thumbs go on your ears, and then you're going to bring your middle finger all the way up, like a helmet. The point where your middle fingers are touching, this is right on top of your head. This is where you should stand on your head, right? So there are some people who teach it differently. This is the way I teach it, and I think is right, because you need a straight line. Otherwise, there's going to be some trouble when you're moving into more advanced versions of headstand. Okay, this is basic one, so we can learn the right way. Anyways, so positioning of hands and shoulders. You should be measuring the distance, just like this on the floor. And you should not, what happens a lot, you should not move out of this range. So you're gonna try and keep the range of your forearm. That's a good distance. If for some reason you have a handicap there, you can send me a message, okay? All right, so that would be staying at the same point. There are sometimes questions about like the skin moving and where should you stay, like on the outer or the inner part. Just try not to overthink it, okay? Just try and keep the stability. If you do get stable, you will feel there's like not a question about the out or the in. It's just down. Okay. There is a thing about the pinky. Some people will teach you like to put one pinky in. I did that in the beginning. If it helps you, wonderful. You can do that. So you're just going to fold that one pinky back into. You don't need that. You can. You don't need it, right? And it's going to cost you some stability. So you will see whether you're going to need that in the beginning, and then maybe it's going to go away. There is some pressure you're going to feel if you have high blood pressure. I would advise you to just very slowly approach this, okay? Technically, there shouldn't be anything going crazy wrong with this. It's still a posture that a beginner can learn. But if you are in a high blood pressure thing, maybe you want to do some relaxation first, maybe do the neck warm up, and then like slowly get into this, not do it overnight, okay? All right, wonderful. So let's start. We're gonna start in this positioning like I showed you. You're gonna grab your elbows, you're gonna grab your hands. Interlace your fingers, tight interlaced. If you are going to practice this more often and you're going to be more proficient in it, you can open your hands and keep them loose. Like I can even like completely lay them down. It's not a problem anymore. But in the beginning, I would prefer you would just take your hands together like this. So you got a little bit more strength, a little bit more stability through your shoulder girdle, right? Okay. You're going to put the head exactly where I told you to, on the top of your head, in the center, between your forearms. And if your hands are tight together now, your palms, then that's going to be a little bit more
further down towards the elbow than it would be usually, but that's gonna keep you more stable in the beginning, like I said. Okay, and you're gonna walk your feet closer to your head. Now, for some of you, this is already a challenge, right? And you're gonna be somewhere here. The hamstrings are probably gonna be tight, and you're gonna be like bending the knees, and the butt is way not in the same line as your head, right? That's okay. Just keep on practicing. You know, you will lengthen the hamstrings and stuff like that. Eventually, doing a headstand has nothing to do with it, but it will help. Okay, so bring your head down. First step would be to walk closer and to bring one knee up. So to make it easier, I'm going to show you this side. So you're going to bring one knee to your chest and up with the foot pointing to the ceiling. Be aware of your elbows, don't move out, right? And one foot is staying down on the floor. Now you're going to try and move more towards that direction where your hip is above your head. Eventually, the clue about headstand is you want to be in a straight line, which is often not the case, but that's what it should be, all right? So just try your best to feel that little shift. There's like this point just right in the center between front and back where it feels easier. That's where you would want to go, right? Okay, so you have this one leg up. Now you're gonna hold it for like 20 to 30 seconds. You're gonna alternate. That is the first step. This is how I teach headstand to people who have not done headstand before. Important, get your shoulders away from your ears. You don't want to like pull anything in there. You want to push the elbows down, right? So let's go down. When you're done with this and you feel okay and comfortable, we're going to move on into the third pose. After you're done alternating, you can bring your knees together and make like a tiny ball. This is going to train your core a little bit and your shoulder blade region, rhomboids, a little bit trapezius. It's not a straight line, but it will give you the opportunity to train your stability in your shoulders, right? So when you're comfortable with that, that's when you move into second phase. So second phase would be not to go like we just did, but to stretch that leg out. So you're going to stretch up the leg, keep one leg down, keep one leg up. I'm already floating here because like, yeah, because I'm on my head. But so if you're still here and you're like kind of here with the leg, don't worry, okay? Just try and hop a little closer and try and stretch that leg up as much as you can. So stretching up is really, that's the underlying message. Keep stretching up, right? All right, so then you're going to alternate with this. Other side, 20 to 30 seconds. This is a great beginning for a headstand because not a lot missing anymore, right? Whenever you can do this, it will be easy to just bend one knee in and straighten it up. If, however, second phase is too scary for you and you are brave enough to not do this against the wall but in the room, I applaud you. Then we can do it a different way. So Iyengar teaches it like this. I never liked it very much, but it's a possibility, and for some people it works better. So you're gonna have one leg up, right? And then both legs up, like we said, and you're gonna have this little ball. Your toes are pointed. And then you're gonna move up your hip just above your head. So you're gonna feel it wherever it is straight. So the traditional way would be then to like lift the knees up to the ceiling and then lift the feet up to the ceiling after that. And then you end up in a straight line. For me, it always felt like I'm gonna like fall over when I do that, and then I didn't like it. But you know, this completely your decision. If you have a stable pose where you're in the ball, that's a great thing. Then you can actually already do headstand. You don't have to worry about it anymore, right? Good. So I'm going to show you one more time the way that I teach all the inversions, also forearm stand and also in handstand. It's just a great tip. I'm going to emphasize on that one more time. If you're going to stretch that one leg up, like stretch all out of this leg, the other leg will just follow, you know. You can just like go up at some point, or if that's too hard, like fold. If you have a little weakness in your core, you gotta feel it in this pose. But mostly and foremost, you're gonna feel the triceps and your trapezius, okay? Important, don't pull your shoulders down. Just keep them away from your ears, right? All right. And then it's very important to keep observing yourself within the headstand. So there are a few common mistakes, but I'm just going to show you the piking before I'm coming to that point. Good. Okay, so let's say you have this kind of method down, but you want to learn to pike. There's two ways. If you are trying this for a long time and it's not, piking means both legs together, right? If you're trying this for a long time and it's not working, then reverse the movement, because then your body just needs the strength and you're, you know, it'll take time. Not that much if you do it every day though, right? Usually like 3 weeks maybe. If you are ready to try and pike and you've never tried it, then maybe go with this first. So you are in this position, right? Where you would usually bend your knees and then go up, or have one leg up and bend the knee, right? So all the way hips above your head. You need to like just try to lift both legs. And there's going to be this 20 to 45 degree, maybe even 20, yeah, let's say 20 to 90 degree angle where it's really hard to pike up. The rest is easy. This part, 90 to 180, no problem, right? The fast ones are the mean ones. So if your body is short and your legs are long like mine, then you're going to move over a little bit with your butt. In terms of having a straight line, you're going to move over. That's okay, you know. Don't be dogmatic about it. It's just going to happen because you have to leverage the weight. If your legs are shorter and your body is longer, then it's going to be the opposite. Then probably you can remain straight position all the time. Okay? Good. Okay, so the piking. If you have trouble to pike up and you tried many times not working, I can recommend you to try it the other way around. So you do the headstand, you come back down, you go into a 90-degree angle pose, and you stay. This is called half headstand in Shirshasana in Ashtanga. It's a great strengthening pose. It can go in your neck and your shoulders if your shoulders and neck are not strong enough yet. So please be aware. Maybe warm up before, do a yoga class before, or do the neck training I linked. But basically, holding this for like 30 to 60 seconds will increase your capability to pike up eventually, because it's holding exactly at that point where it's getting hard to lift, right? Wonderful. And then you can reverse it down even more. Okay, common mistakes. Number 1, compressed neck.
I know there are some teachings that do the headstand here on the hairline. I just disagree, but that is fine, you know, do whatever you want.
So for me, common mistake number one is this hairline thing, because if I'm going to move into a different kind of headstand,
Eventually you want to have like no arms, then it's just going to be compressing my spine and one-sided use of muscles, right? Okay, so rather here, top. Second of all, most visible or obvious thing I see is people are not stretching up all the way because they're scared to fall over. So they're going to be like in kind of this position and they think they're in a headstand and they're just going to do this. It is more exhausting to hold this and you're collapsing. So the best thing to get out of this position would be to just think stretch up, stretch up, stretch up, stretch up. So if you stretch up, the automatic move is that your head is also pushing a little bit down more. You can stretch up and you're trying to go into that straight line. There is this moment where there's just a center between front and back. You will feel it. It feels weightless. That is where you start to practice headstand, okay? If it's exhausting in any muscle group, you're not there yet, okay? You're hanging back, it's gonna be exhausting in the front of your head and in your biceps. You're hanging forward, it's gonna be exhausting for your shoulders, your deltoids, your triceps, and probably your core. If you're straight, it should be weightless. It should be just calm. Good. Okay, happy headstanding. I hope I answered most of your questions. If you're gonna feel a pressure in the beginning, it shouldn't be in your eyes. It should be, there is probably some pressure in your head, and that's okay. It's fine. It'll disappear if you practice it more often. If you have like an infection or something, it will be stronger in the face and in the head as well. Just be aware of it. If you feel uncomfortable, get out of it. That's all, you know, don't push it. Technically, you should be like able to hold headstand for 3, 5, 15 minutes comfortably to move on into more advanced versions. You don't have to, but it would be so much easier to do all the other variations we're going to do in the next video, okay? If this was of any value, then just hit the like button. It's going to help to spread the video to more people. If not, I don't mind. Okay, beautiful. I see you next time, maybe upside down.